I want to show you an amazing technique on how to make this cute dog cake. Even if you have never made a cake before, I promise you this will be a success. My name's Claire, so let's get going. I've gone on the internet and I have found this black and white drawing of a cockapoo, and I've simply scaled it to size and then printed it out, and I've just cut around it. Now I've got a 9-inch cake here which I've already filled. Step one is very easy. We just place our template on top of our cake, and then we want to take a knife and you cut all the way around, just straight down. Then once you've done that, you just want to cover the entire cake with a thin layer of buttercream. A handy tip, sometimes when you're putting buttercream on a cake, it can be quite crumbly. So just get your palette knife and dip it into some boiling water. It heats up the metal and helps your buttercream smooth much easier. And we've actually got a really good buttercream recipe, which we've linked below. So now that's done, the next thing to move on to is covering it in sugar paste. I've coloured my sugar paste a nice golden brown, and I've rolled it out on some icing sugar about 1/2 centimetre thick. So we're simply just going to place this on top of our cake. There we go. Now, if you've got a smoother, great. They're good for just smoothing out over the top of your cake and around the sides. But if you don't have one, don't worry. You can always just use your hands. So just simply press down so your cake is completely covered and your sugar paste meets the board. Then once you've done that, we just want to cut off the excess just around the very bottom edge of the cake, all the way around. Right, there we go. Just remove that out the way. And now that our cake is covered in sugar paste, let's turn it from this cake into a cockapoo. First up, we want to make a fur effect around the sides of our cake. Now, to do this, I've got a Dresden tool. They are a really, really good tool to have in your kit as a cake decorator. However, if you don't have one, you can always use a cocktail stick. And all we do is we just want to go down the sides of the cake and just give it a little bit of a wiggle as you do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to create that slight fur effect. Okay, there we go. Right, as you can see, I have actually cut my dog into sections. And the reason for this is to break it down for you and keep it really, really simple. So let's just put it back together on the cake. So I've cut it into 4 sections essentially. So we've got the ears and the muzzle. So if you focus on cutting the ears and the muzzle, then from that you get the rest of it, which is the chin and the eyes and forehead. Now we're going to start off with the chin. So I'm going to keep these in position because then I can see where everything needs to be. But I'm going to just take that off and remove it. Using the Dresden tool again, I want to basically follow the pattern of the fur that I've removed here and replicate it on here. So just coming in little wiggly motions through the sugar paste. Now you might notice that I'm kind of resting my hands slightly on there. It's because what I want to do as I bring it down, I kind of want to bring it over, like onto my fingers, because that really gives that effect of like that furry, shaggy kind of dog and that furry chin, which is what makes a cockapoo so cute. Right, so chin done. Now I want to do the forehead, but before I do that, I just want to mark where my eyes are before I remove it. So I'm just going to poke just through the center, just so I've got a rough idea of where my eyes are. Then I remove that, and this one again. Now you can mix this up a bit. Like I'm going to go away from me, but then I'm going to turn it around. So for example, around the eyes, I'm just going to follow my pattern here, going upwards and away from me. Give it a really good wiggle with your Dresden tool. There we go. Then I'm going to turn it around for the same reasons. I want to bring it over, and I just use my hand. It just sort of helps to rest the sugar paste onto it. There we go. And then I'm just going to carry on, just going around the eyes. Again, just following the pattern on my printout. Okay, lovely. Right, now that's done, we're going to move on to the ears. To make the ears nice and furry, I'm actually using additional pieces of sugar paste. So I've rolled it out and I've taken my ear template, placed it on and just cut round it. So let's just get rid of that excess sugar paste. Right, now you can see I've already made one. Very simple. We just take the Dresden tool and you're going downwards in the same way the fur goes down. Look at your template when you're doing it. So just start from the top of the ear, wiggle it down and actually press down onto your surface. So you're actually almost cutting the sugar paste on the edges to get that really, really furry ear. There we go. Right, now I'm going to actually glue these onto the cake. So I've got some edible glue here. So you don't need a lot, just to fix it on. Right, this is where it starts to come to life. So place one on and then place the other on, and then we'll just have a little bit of a look at it. There we go. Just make sure that the ear kind of sticks out onto the edge of the cake ever so slightly. Fabulous. Absolutely love it. Okay, ears are now done. Next up, the muzzle, and I've done the same as the ears. So I've cut it out separately and it's the same again. So you want to use your Dresden tool and go around in the same shape as on your cutout. It's always best to work from the center and go outwards when you're creating this kind of fur. Like the ears, if you just want to press down onto your surface and kind of cut through it, just gives that real 3D effect. Now, when I'm actually doing this bit, I'm going to put my finger, if I can, sort of over it again, just to create that kind of pulling over, because that's actually going to be over where the mouth sits. It's a bit tricky, but if you can try and keep that gap underneath, essentially, is what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, and then just finally the other side. Right, that's lovely. Okay, now to place onto the cake. So again, a little bit of edible glue. Not too much. And this can overlap the ears, because obviously the ears are behind the muzzle on a dog. So we simply just place this on. Now, it gives your dog quite a bit of cute character if you actually sort of place it, but put it slightly at an angle. And then, as I said, that can go over the ears. And then we just want to press down here, just because that's where our nostril, our nose is going to go. Lovely. Okay, which is exactly what we're going to do next, is the features, eyes and nose. Let's start with the eyes. Now, first of all, you actually need to make an indentation into your cake so you can see with the little marks we made earlier where to do it. And you can use the end of a small rolling pin, but I'm actually just going to use my fingers and thumbs just to create that indentation. Right, now I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on them. So I've got some black sugar paste here and I've rolled it into a ball, and then you just want to press it. It's a ball, but it's a slight oval. Pop it on and then you just want to press it down a little bit. Like so. Don't worry about it being too bulbous because we are going to put an eyebrow over the eye, and then just repeat with the other one. There we go. I know it looks really funny at the moment, but wait till he's got his eyebrows on. Right, let's give him a tongue. So I've got some pink sugar paste here, and it's just, the shape doesn't need to be anything too special. It's just a ball that I've kind of flattened a little bit here, and I'm just going to glue just underneath here, underneath his muzzle, and I'm going to place that in like so. But then using my Dresden tool, I just want to have a little bit of a line on it like that. There we go, a cute little tongue. Okay, and now for the nose. So a little bit of glue. So with the nose, it's slightly triangle shape, but not too much. So I kind of tend to pinch like that and then press like that to get a little bit of a triangle shape. And then you pop that on, but then we want to press it down. So the nose is ever so slightly bigger than the eyes. Like that. And then I'm using the wide end of my Dresden tool, but if you haven't got this Dresden tool, you can just use the end of a paintbrush if you like. But I just want to use that to create the nostrils. So go in one side and then the other. Like that. And then if you want to be really realistic, they do actually just have a little bit of a line here. They look like a little bit of a shape of a music note, I think. Lovely. Right. Next up, let's give him some proper character and give him some eyebrows. So we take a ball of our sugar paste. You want to roll it into kind of like a thick sausage, and then put your fingers on each end as you're rolling it so it goes a little bit thinner on each end like that. Then you want to flatten it slightly. Now you can see I've already done one eyebrow, so I'm doing this one. So just be aware when you're using your tool which way you want the fur to go. So I'm going to hold this end and press down and go outwards with my tool. And then down here, I kind of want to create a little bit like lashes. So I just want to get quite fine down here. And then just go in the middle slightly as well. Now you see I'm still holding on to this. This is partly to keep it so it doesn't move. But also I'm actually going to pinch that off, which I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so I'm just going to pinch that and remove that. And I might need to pinch a little bit more off, but let's put them on and see. So let's get some glue just above the eyes. Now these make such a difference to the expression of your dog. If you want an angry dog, you want your eyebrows close together. And if you want a happy dog, bring them further apart. So let's put one on. You want to place it above the eye. Now, as I said, you don't want the dog to be angry, so you don't want it to be too far into the center. Essentially, you don't want the eyebrows to meet. So I'm just placing it on like that, but I'm not going to stick it properly yet because I want to get both of them on. So now let's put this one on and see if I need to actually pinch any more of this one off. Yeah, so I'm just going to pinch a little bit more off like that. Let's have a look at that now. Place it on. Lovely. Okay. And then again, just play with your Dresden tool, getting those eyelashes on there. So it's just ever so slightly over the black eyeball that you created. And then just finish off like that. Lovely. It's really starting to come together now. As you can see, I actually have a picture of a cockapoo here. Very, very cute. Now I've printed this, but obviously you can look at your phone. The reason for the picture is just to look at the colouring, because I'm going to introduce some other colours now to my cake in the form of some edible dust powders. Now you can see that he's got a little bit of darkness around the eye area and around the nose and mouth. I also want to introduce a little bit of different colours on the ears as well. So I've got my dust in brown and cream on some kitchen roll, and all I'm going to do is use both of them, mix them together if I want it a little bit lighter, or I can always just go straight in with the darker brown for the darker bits, and simply just dust onto the cake. These are dry brushes. See what a difference adding that colour made. I think he looks fabulous. However, there is one more thing that I want to do to really bring him to life. Now here, I've got some edible glaze spray, and I'm going to spray this on him. However, I don't want to put it directly onto the cake. So I'm actually going to spray it into the cap. And then I'm going to take a brush, and I'm going to use this to brush the nose, and then onto the eyes. There we go. And now he's finished. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this tutorial and I've inspired you to have a go yourself. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments and we will reply. And we've linked all of the products used in the description below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.